battle arena, man. I had to pull you up out of that battle arena for a minute, man.
Nah, man, watch yourself, man. We just went live, and already Calamite got something to say. He was like, yo, to be honest, I'd rather see Busta versus Twister or Doom.
So I see everybody trying to put Bus in that box.
Yeah, that's one thing I was going to say is
like he's just a tongue twister
he
rapper. Like that's not Bus. That's not Bus' whole thing is tongue twisting.
He got
like,
bangers though.
I seen T.I. try to do that too. Like, yeah, why don't you go battle Twister? Like Twister.
Well, see,
what?
I like Doom. I like the idea of Doom because that's also that left field type hip hop, which I think would do good against Bus. Which, but anyway, yeah, and Doom is better. Versus old Luda. Busta.
Nah, I don't like that.
That's not enough.
I don't like that. I don't like Doom. Like simply like that's disrespectful to me. That's disrespectful. You can't like Bus is kind of heated at the fact T.I. turned him down. Like you can't tell a legendary icon like Busta. Don't you go battle MF Doom? Like, what? Like,
yeah,
nah,
I like.
Man, what are we talking?
Yeah, see,
how you gonna disrespect my catalog like that?
Nah, but you see the people who say Doom.
Like that,
the person who's gonna say Doom. Hold on. Let me turn this on. Make sure everybody can hear me. The person who's gonna say Doom thinks that Doom is a legendary rapper too, though. That's why they'll say that. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
That's why they'll say that.
You know what I'm saying? I feel that. I feel that. But yeah, unless MF Doom got hits from back in the leaders of the new school days. Like I'm
well,
the
thing is, do they have club jams? Because that's really what this comes down to. Because nobody's gonna say, I want to hear, what's his name? Nobody's gonna say none of the underground like people, because the idea is you want an hour and a half of club jams and nostalgia and all that. So that's why you're not gonna hear Logic versus what's his name? Immortal Technique. You know what I'm saying? Like, not saying that they can't rap, but that's not what it's about. But I can see what you mean, though, Calamite. But guess what? We about to get it on, man. You guys have seen what's been going on all weekend. Before we go any further, let's just get the intro started, man. Let's go ahead and get the intro started. That's all I'm going to say.
More to the box.
Oh, you ain't see the brand new live camera? Yeah. Let's just take a look. Busta bullied this guy.
What's wrong with T.I. acting desperation, hanging from a thin rope face looking ass? Like, I'll be confused if he got a 5-year-old body or 85-year-old body looking ass. Wardrobe you put on, you look like you still on the court. Looking ass nigga. You got a whole lot of work left to put in that you ain't put in yet.
I f with you, boss, and I respect my elders.
Busta, you leaders of the new school, which came out and that just.
Well, we watching all of the clips real quick. It's gonna come back to you.
Give me Melly Mel.
If you are willing to adjust to these contingents, you can only play songs that you released from 2001.
I'm gonna tell you, first of all, I accept this with no problem.
Facts. So there it is. That's what we talking about, y'all. Listen. Did you hear all of that? If you didn't, D-Boy Slim. I told you guys yesterday that we had D-Boy Slim, the infamous D-Boy Slim, coming up, joining the conversation. What's up, YouTube? Cheers. You are watching the Basement Debates. We had a debate about whether or not Busta bullied this guy, T.I., who was going to win, all types of stuff, just having fun with it, because that's what it's about. And I told you that D-Boy Slim, the infamous, was coming to talk about this. And here he is, y'all. Here he is. What's good, bro? What's good?
Yo, This is spicy right here, bro. It's real spicy.
Yeah.
You know why it's extra spicy?
What's going
You
on?
know why I bought? You know why I brought the topic to you? Because for the last 10 years, you told me Bus was your favorite artist of all time.
Okay. That still stands.
Let's not even hold back.
That still
And the
stands.
reason why it's extra spicy, because T.I. is one of my, he's in my top 5 all time.
So wait a minute. T.I. has made it to the top 10. When we were doing our Together, where we did the amalgamation, we said T.I. has made it. People might disagree who like the underground stuff, but if you just listen to what he's done and the evolution he's been through, he ended up being in the top 10. But I told you, because you make the top 10 doesn't mean that you're in my favorite. And this type of a battle is going to show you why. You don't have to be my favorite. When you get all of the jams together, when you get all the rah-rah, and you get all the club jams, and you get all the diversity of music, and you get what it is I love about Busta, and just go head to head, you're going to see why he's my favorite, even though he's not in my top 10. That's all I'm saying.
But we might not necessarily understand why he's your favorite, but we might understand why you enjoy certain joints more than you enjoy other joints.
Well, check it out. Bootney Lee Farnsworth said, who we got Busta tip? Just hold on, Bootney, hold on. That is going to be the question we pose at the end. We're going to start like this. Keep that question in mind, Bootney. We're going to start like this. This weekend, your boy, D-Boy Slim, came to me. He said, you got to check it out. T.I. just turned down Bus for the Verzuz battle. By the time I got to look at it, Bus already came back with a outstanding, ridiculous Bus back. He said T.I. only rejected it because he's afraid of the butt whooping. He said he didn't want to be embarrassed on the world stage. The first question that we had was, before that, you asked me this question, D-Boy, who did you think should go up against T.I. if this thing didn't happen? And I'm going to ask you that. Who did you think T.I. should be okay with battling? Who would you like to see battle T.I. if it wasn't for Bus?
Well, here's my thing. For the last 15, it's almost, T.I.'s been out almost 20 years now. But I would definitely say the last 15 years he's been the self-proclaimed king of the South. So for me, the only battle that would be of relevance to me, but for a T.I., for somebody of the likes of a T.I., would be Lil Wayne. I'm not gonna hold no punches. I'm not gonna waste no time. I'm not gonna hold y'all up. I think the proper battle for a T.I. and someone that's, on his same plane, so to speak, and on his same level, would be Lil Wayne. And that would clear up, a lot of people feel like Lil Wayne is the man down south, or he's been the front runner or the poster child for rap in the South or whatever for the last 20 years. And another, half of people, another demographic may feel like it's T.I. I'm one of those who actually feel like it's T.I. And I would like to see that. Even more than the battle against Busta.
Really?
Yeah,
I think, first of all, we know that it's the hype train. Both of them got albums coming out. So that's why this is going down like this. It just makes sense for both of them. But let me tell you how fire that is that you just said that. Because I didn't even think about Lil Wayne. Because I never even think about him in those terms. I know people like him. And I think he's cool. And I give him the respect that he deserves for the work that he's put in. But I never really see him as like, okay, well, is he up there with these guys? But the truth is he is. He's been out since the same time before. Yeah. He's had as many hits, if not more. He's had as many collaborations, if not more, many more, to be honest with you. And he's a mogul in his own right. I don't even have an argument. This is a debate show, y'all, and I don't even have an argument for that. That's how dope that was. I did not have an argument for that. Period. I was gonna say, I'd like to see him go up against someone like him.
Like who?
Eminem. I'd like to see him go
T.I.?
up. Yeah. I would like to see two sides of the coin. I'd like to see the other side of the track. I want to see what people have to say about that.
I see what you're getting at.
I would love to see that.
I see what you're getting at.
T.I. versus Drake. Calamite said, what up with T.I. versus Drake? I don't think so. Drake isn't there yet. By the time Drake we need some.
Although Drake's catalog is extensive, it's not what T.I.'s catalog is.
No, it's not there yet. By the time Drake came out, T.I. had 4 platinum albums already.
Easy.
And Young Thug, same thing. Like it's not the same thing. Reason why we say Jeezy is because that was kind of a battle back then. People was like, "Yo, are we with T.I.?"
He's the next trap rapper out of the South.
Right.
You know,
Thug still, we got to reach back further. We talking 2001.
That's an even larger generational gap than what T.I. speaking of with Busta.
Right.
And I want to touch on that for a second.
Go ahead.
If I may, bro.
We're gonna get to your question, Bootney Lee Farnsworth. Please don't leave us, man. We going in on this one. Get your popcorn, get your drinks, get your smoke. Just sit down, everybody. Have fun.
As far as T.I.'s reasoning for not battling Bus,
that was my next question.
It seems to be that Busta took it with a little disrespect, and rightfully so, because Busta is a legend in his own right. I don't quite buy the notion that he doesn't want to battle Busta because of a generational gap. I don't quite buy that. I think that's propaganda, and I think he was respectfully declining the challenge from Busta and just politely putting it as though the generational gap is too much. But although there is truth to there being somewhat of a generational gap, I think more so the problem with the T.I. versus Busta, or how T.I. may seem or may deem it, is the fact that what you just pointed out as far as a T.I. battle and the Eminem. And I think that because the styles and the content in the music contrast each other, you know, not to say that one is better than the other, and in a versus battle like that, you would get to see the clear contrast in where one is kind of showcasing his ability to verbalize in different ways and different cadence and different deliveries, different speeds and different tempos. T.I. is strictly one of those rappers that he takes real life and articulates. Period.
Which is opposite of Bus, because to be honest with you, that's why Bus doesn't make it in the top 10. He doesn't really do that. He talks about the party or whatever he's talking about. He doesn't have the.
But he doesn't do it to the likes of a T.I.
Right. Well, he doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't really talk the streets and real life and what happened to grandma.
Like I said, it's not that he doesn't do it, but he doesn't.
It's rare. Yeah.
Throughout his career,
that's not what he's about.
Who Bus was.
Yeah, he's not what he's about. He's about busting rhymes. That's his name. He's about busting rhymes. Look at what I can do. Look at how I can spit this verse. Look how I can turn this phrase. That's what he's about, and that's what he's the best at. So I'm going to piggyback off of what you said. T.I. did the smartest thing I've ever seen anybody do, and that's by making sure that I'm not going to battle Bus for anything before 2001. That's the reason why he didn't want to do it. I thought that. Bus thought that, and he called him out for it. He bullied him into changing his mind, and even when T.I. changed his mind, he said the reality is, I don't have anything that can go against 4 platinum albums that start at 1992. The Coming is platinum. The first ELE is platinum. The everything that Busta has before 2001 is platinum jams with #1 hits before this guy was even born. I mean, as a rapper. And T.I. was like, I can't compete with that. And you also know it because in the same thing, T.I. said, I might as well compete against Rakim. I didn't know I could compete against Rakim. He sees him as the God. And so to even think about that, he knew that it was an unfair challenge. And I kind of agree with T.I. on that. If Bus could just go back to Leaders of the New till now, he got him. He got him. Like just off GP, like he got him. And so the best thing T.I. could have done was said what he said. If you agree to the 2001 and beyond, only albums or only songs from 2001 since I've been out, I'll do it. That's the best thing he could have done. Because in any other way, he would have got that ass busting. And he knew it, and he just said it. He said it to be funny.
I disagree with that premise. I disagree with the fact that he was scared somehow or was trying to avoid.
Not scared.
Bus's earlier catalog.
I think
comparison. It's more so because of the contrast in styles. Like I don't think T.I. wants to go versus a battle and have to battle. And even though, because the reason, my reasoning in saying that is because I know T.I. feel confident enough with his catalog to stand next to anybody.
BJ Holiday, what's good, baby? Nintendo fan guy, what's good?
Whether it be Rakim, whether it be Nas, whether it be Jay-Z. I know T.I. is the type of individual who feel confident enough in his music and his ability and that I know he feels like his catalog can stand next to anybody. I just think because of the big contrast, like I said, where you would have T.I. saying something like on 24s or Rubber Band Man, and then you battling again, like you said, if you go back to 92 Busta, when he's talking rah rah like a dungeon dragon, like although like I said, I think he may have undermined that because it's something that I think people will want to see. I think there are fans that are closely followed hip hop, such as myself and you, that would enjoy seeing Bus going rah rah like a dungeon dragon, and then T.I. coming right back with 24s or the King.
Yeah,
so,
the evolution of hip hop.
I think he may have undermined that, and like you said, he came back and said, you know, if you can come with your catalog when he started, which I think what was it, 99 or 2001, whatever.
2001, that was his first one.
Came out as a rapper, then that's fine. Which Bus catalog, I think the meat of Busta's catalog may be from 92 up to that time.
No, but right, that's what I'm saying. All 5 of Busta's platinum albums was 92 to 2001. 2001 was his last platinum album.
I don't agree with your reasoning in saying that he doesn't want to face that part of Busta's catalog. So I think T.I. was thinking on a grand scale as he usually does, and thinking that does the crowd really want to see trap music versus rah 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 like a dungeon dragon? And I think like I said, I actually think when I think about it, I actually think that would be interesting. Such as you mentioned with it, like similar to Eminem versus T.I. I actually think those contrasts in catalogs, I think that would be posed for an interesting battle. But like I said, I think that's more of the reason that T.I. turned it down, not so much of he's scared of Busta's earlier catalog.
Okay, so we're gonna leave it to y'all. Everybody leave their comment. What's the real reason? I'm not saying that he's scared. You need to understand what I mean. Can I get my focus back? It's not that I think that he's scared. I'm saying going up against the God, it's not about being scared, it's about not even being right. He mentioned oh my goodness, what's going on? We good? Can I get my video back? There we go. It's like Dwayne Wade going to the guys league down the street. None of the guys in the guys league down the street is scared to fight Dwayne Wade or scared to go up and shoot against Dwayne Wade because they also think they're good too. They think they could have made it to the NBA. But it's just the difference of one gets the extra homage because of what it is. Because when you hear Rah Rah, it brings back a nostalgia that you can't compete with or bring to the table. Not even if you think yours is better. You understand what I'm saying? That's what he was thinking.
Yeah, but that's the regard you hold it in. You see what I'm saying? Like that's the
But
regard
that's what he
you
said.
hold Busta's catalog
Okay,
in.
so I'll tell you what.
Everybody doesn't see it that way.
Okay,
and
so
what I'm saying is, like I said, that's why I said I think T.I. respectfully, I don't like for whatever reason he just didn't want to contrast the two. And I'm not sure of his exact reasoning as to why or whatever, but I know that he's smart enough to know that okay, if I go up against Busta, my catalog it's going to read just doing my job. We all know T.I.'s classics, and like I said, they predicated that it's trap music. He coined the phrase trap music, whereas a Busta, like I said, in '92.
Yo, you turn your mic off.
I think for that reason is why he says, "Oh, the generational gap is too much." Like, or should I battle Melly Mel next? Because in those days, you didn't have people even rapping about the stuff that T.I. was rapping about. So I think for that reason, not for the reason, oh, we hold rah rah rah, that type of catalog in such a high regard. No, it's just that they contrast so much. So
Calamite said he thinks it's because T.I. has so many more hits, he didn't want to basically embarrass Busta. He didn't want it to make it that's cold. Calamite, come on, man.
Yeah, and I'm gonna agree with that.
So then wait a minute. So then why would he agree to doing everything like after 2001? Wait a minute, no, wait a minute.
If you tell Nas to step out,
you had
Das Effects. One of Das Effects say, "Yeah, I'll take Nas."
No, wait a minute. No, wait a minute.
Yeah,
Time out.
Das Effects has some classics. But Nas is like, nah,
Let me
man,
speak.
I'm not
Let me
about
speak.
to battle
Let me
Das
speak.
Effects.
Let me speak. Why would he agree to everything after 2001 if that was the real reason? It doesn't even make any sense.
Because at least then you rapping in our generation, you rapping at our speed. At least then it's like
that makes no sense because now you're giving him less hits.
Larry Bird.
But now you're giving him, if that's the case, now you're giving him less hits. That doesn't make any. If you think the reason why you don't want to battle Bus is because you got more hits than him, then you give him less hits and say okay.
It's not about the hits, man.
That's what I'm saying. That's what Calamite said. That's what I was saying.
It's not about. It's about, like I said. The only analogy I can give you is, like I said, there's accuracy when he says the generational gap. But the reasoning for the reason he says generational gap is the nice way of saying we rapping about a more advanced, like what we're to layman's terms, what we're rapping about is more of importance. You're rapping about kiss the moon, I jump over the sky, I jump over the sun and do a backflip in the ocean. Like you, when that was cool in '92. That type of rap was cool in '92.
Nah, that's just disrespectful because
what I'm talking about is a little different. It's a little bit different. And like
you're
I
talking
said,
about the
if
trap.
you want to rap, you want to rap your catalog.
You're talking about the trap.
When I was out rapping what I was rapping, fine. We'll let the fans decide whose raps was heavier or whose catalog was better. Period. But we can't go back to 92 Bus when we know that, like you was always saying, Cat in the Hat, my box and the rocks, the Glocks. That's all you were saying.
Oh my God!
I mean, let's just be honest.
Oh
and
my
the reason
God.
why Busta is because he said it with a certain type of energy.
Because he's Busta Rhymes, right? Because he could bust a rhyme. It doesn't. But the fact that you're talking about traps and money and dubs is more important than Cats in the Moons is not
what
the
I'm
same.
Saying is, hold on, pause. What I'm saying is the rhymes themselves, like the content of the rhyme. Will you agree that over time, as rap evolved,
I agree with you. Yes.
The content of the rhyme becomes heavier. The content of the rhyme becomes more of more substance.
No, I don't agree that.
You have Rakims that rap with substance in '88, but he was far and few. There wasn't 20 Rakims.
Bro.
So therefore, like the average guy that was coming out,
Most people had more
average.
content than they do now in the days.
I'm not saying Busta's average, but you know, the average guy that was coming out in 91, 89, and 1990, this rap just wasn't as advanced as the average guy in 95 and 96, such as the Biggies and the Pops that we got, and the Ice Cube.
I mean, all right.
That's all I'm saying. Like rap itself, hip hop became more advanced. So
okay, in the 90s, the golden age. Fine.
Like I said, nobody's gonna argue with you. Dallas Effects had classic raps, but if the average guy in '96, it's like, well, you know, what he was rapping about was more extensive.
Yeah, we'd have to go person by person before I can agree with that. But we can agree to. I understand your point. In the '90s, the golden age.
That's what I'm saying. Okay. In general, yeah. Do you agree that hip hop evolved in the sense that the content became more stronger?
Yes.
Okay, well then that's all I'm saying.
Okay, so fine. We're gonna leave that.
That's all I'm saying. That speaks to what I was saying about T.I. saying about the age difference.
Yeah, but so what I'm telling you is, as far as the hip hop evolving, I think styles evolved. I think beats evolved. I think beat making evolved. I think in the '90s, at the end of the '90s, may have been better than the beginning of the '90s. But I don't think that what people talked about is in substance. I think there were as many of those. Matter of fact, you may have had to have more substance to be able to get on in the '80s and in the early '90s than it was when it actually became very popular and you could talk about anything and get on. So there's two ways you could look at that. I believe rap has evolved in the way that you say it does. I'm saying that's debatable. But fine, I can leave that to the people. We agree, disagree. I'm on the side that he thought he was gonna get his ass bust with all of the stuff from '92 to 2001, which is why he said, okay, you're saying it's because he didn't want to overdo Bust like that and have a battle with something that sounds ancient compared to what's happening right now.
That's all I'm saying. Fact.
You guys decide right there in the comment section right now. Y'all decide that.
That's all I'm saying.
I got you on that. Question 2. Was T.I. bullied into doing this in the first place? He said no once. He said no twice. Bust came out and slapped him in the face again and again. And he finally, over time, I think T.I. said in his 45-minute long live video that he's not just going to sit there and be disrespected. And so he'll do it with the stipulation. Now, of course, we know that much of this, I believe much of this is choreographed because they both got albums coming out. I believe there's, but if we're just looking at it as if it were what it was, it seemed like T.I. got bullied into even saying yes to this because your boy Bust embarrassed him so many times. I played the clips before. I can play him again. They got 85 on him. He went to high school on him. He talked about the size of his head. He started to just smack him around like it was a playground fight. And T.I. finally had to go. Do you agree T.I. was bullied into this matchup?
Now, that's where you're taking it to. Because the truth of the matter is, it doesn't even sound right. Like if we were talking about Tekashi or somebody or somebody.
And Falme Dome was good. I see you, bro.
With the character like that, then I could understand. But when you talk about T.I. and somebody bullying T.I., that makes absolutely no sense. We already know that T.I. has been convicted 3 or 4 times on felony charges. The guy went to Houston, Texas to go fight Little Flip over what he said on the raps. Like, the guy, he won't stand for disrespect, and we know that. We know that. Okay. Like, I mean, on any level.
So I changed it.
We've never seen T.I. turn down a challenge.
I just did.
But like I said,
I just did see him turn it down and change the rules so he could play. I just saw that. What did just happen was
And I felt bad for Busta. And this is why, like, to see Busta at 40, Busta has to be damn near, Busta might be 50 years old at this point. And to see
You don't
Busta
need to feel bad for
resort
Busta. He's a god in the game.
To see Busta resort to name calling.
Come on.
It became,
That was the best thing I seen all year. Stop playing.
You wanted to battle that bad? That's like somebody. That's like that Bruce Lively, right? You trying to
Don't bring Bruce Lively into this. What I got to do with this?
Hold on a second. One thing I know about Bruce is you cannot provoke Bruce into a fight, because Bruce is gonna say simply, "You got it." No, you're right. You're absolutely correct. Because you cannot provoke Bruce into a fight.
Right.
So see, the thing about it is, these guys are 50 years old. He knows that. But see, Bruce knows that if he says D-boy,
Yeah.
you scared. So D-boy, you scared to do a live.
You gonna go ahead and do the live.
He knows that D-boy won't be bullied into doing a basement episode, because D-boy loves to do basement episodes. I love to tell y'all what's on my mind and style my fitted hat and show y'all what I'm wearing for the day.
Right.
He knows D-boy loves that anyway. But what happens is, you feel like, nah, I wanted to get this show off today. And so you'll say, D-boy, you scared to do the show, the live right now, today? And then D-boy is gonna say, you know what?
Let's do it
right now. And that's all you see happen. Respectfully, T.I. said T.I. never backed down from a challenge. And
Okay.
he know Bus felt disrespected. And on top of the fact, like he said, he knows that Busta has an album coming out that he's trying to market. So he said, you know what? All right, let's get it on.
I'll say
And
this. I think he twisted his hand.
On Busta's part, because Busta really wanted to battle and showcase his catalog, and I respect it on T.I.'s part, because graciously, he didn't initially want to do the
Well, wait a minute.
Said, you know what, out of respect for Busta Rhymes, let's do it.
Okay, so allow me to say this then. Number one, Busta didn't come up with this idea. Fat Joe told him that should happen, and Busta said, sure, I'll do that. So Busta didn't just come out.
T.I.'s name? So Busta didn't pop T.I.'s name? That was
no,
Joe
that was Fat Joe.
Name?
Fat Joe. Then because they was talking about the fact that T.I. had a lot to say about New York rappers, and it wasn't cool, and blah, blah, blah. And so Fat Joe was like, you guys should do the verses. He was like, I got no problem with that. I'm not scared of that with him.
I seen that. You're absolutely right, bro.
So let's stop acting like he just needed to get back out there. I just saw a commercial for Busta.
And
obviously,
respectfully, I'm not trying to make it seem like Busta's thirsty.
Yeah.
I respect it.
And number two, the second question really would be, because I said the same thing to Joshua Suggs. I know he coming in at some point from All G's React. A lot of people here from All G's React. I asked him yesterday, and I said, well, what if it's not bullied? What if he just twisted his hand? Did he pull his hand? Did he turn his hand and say, after you say that to somebody on the world stage, like, I know you're scared to get this butt whooping, you can just say that without having to, and then you have to be like, okay, well then fine. I think he pushed his hand.
Bruce does that to me about twice a week.
Come on.
I mean, and Bruce, he doesn't bully me. It's the fact of, he knows that I'm a competitor. I'm competitive. And so the way you get a competitor is to challenge him to compete. That's it. And I mean, that's it. That's all that is. If you say Jordan, I bet you you don't score on Joe Dumars. Guess what Jordan's gonna do? Go score on Joe Dumars. That's it. That's what keeps great people motivated. It's the fact when you challenge him and say, I bet you can't do that. So everybody knows that bit of psychology. Like I said, and T.I. is no fool. He could have respectfully just turned it down. But I think, like I said, out of respect for Busta Rhymes and who Busta Rhymes is, and knowing Busta Rhymes at 50 years old or whatever have you has an album coming out that he's trying to market, he said, you know what? All right, let's do it, man. For hip hop's sake, let's do it. And I respect. It's one of the reasons, like I said, I respect the guy T.I.
All right, you guys heard question number 2. I need all of you respond. M. Falme Dome, I need your response. Calamite, you already said your response. Hilarious, dude. BJ, Holloman, I need your response. Nintendo fan guy, I need your response. Y'all respond right there. I'm going to question number 3, man. Yo, I like this debate. This is what I knew would happen. This is why we had to do part 2. The big one is, now that we know that it's going to happen, first of all, it's not going to be the 3-way. I haven't heard anything about that. I really don't want to see that. Real quick, I don't want to talk too much about this. Do you want to see a 3-way with Jeezy, T.I., and Busta? I don't.
But I mean, I like, it's a show. It's a celebration of all their catalogs, and I get that. But I mean, however you got the, I mean, you know, the thing about it is that, like I said, you know, we have me and Bruce have made top 10s and top 5 and top 25 and top 50 lists of our own, and on those lists, T.I. stands at right about the top, you know, excluding, you know, the Jay-Z's and Nas,
Big Pun,
Rakims of the world. You know, T.I. is just about
Andre,
right below those guys. So, you know, I know that T.I. feels confident that, you know, he can stand. Like I said, his catalog can stand next to anybody.
Right.
So, you know, I don't know how you would do that.
I just don't want to. I don't want to hear Jeezy in the midst of a great battle like Bust and T.I. I'm just gonna be very honest with you. Like, I'm just gonna be very honest with you. No. I was the one who stuck up.
In my Stephen A voice, don't be disrespectful.
I'm in my listen with the utmost respect, my man. I don't need anybody else when Nas and Jay-Z battle. I don't need a third wheel for that. Like, that's enough, man. It's enough, bro. Like, that's enough. I'm not saying anybody's worse or better. That's enough. Busta's enough on his own to deal with for an hour. Like, then you got T.I. Like, we don't need the third wheel for that. Like, you get your own battle with T.I. and that'll be fire. Because, like I said yesterday, Jeezy's first album alone, just press play and don't stop. And it'll smash anything out there almost at any time. Period. And we all know that. But you got Bus and T.I. already. Like, you just adding on, like, for no reason. Like, that's enough, man. Who knows what this dude is gonna show up in, what kind of clothes this guy's gonna be wearing. Like, Bus is enough on his own, man. Just to take all of that in, you got to be careful, man. So, nah, we don't need that. Okay, now that that's done, the big question, who wins this, D-Boy Slam? I'll let you go first. Who wins this one? Bus versus T.I. versus, we're all been waiting on it. That's what we're here for. And back to, really quick before you say anything, back to, where my man at? Well, back to Bootney Lee Farnsworth, if you're still here, brother. That was your original question. Who you got, Bus or T.I.?
Who I got, Bus or T.I.?
Bus or T.I.? That's the question.
That's easy, T.I. I'm sorry to hurt your
Oh,
feelings.
my
like
God, not another
I'm sorry
one.
to hurt your feelings like that, bro. I know that's your guy. And that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why it's like, I don't even, my favorite is who my top 5 is. Because it's like, if I said, you know, who you think would win, Rakim or Bus, I mean, Bus is your guy, man. So I wouldn't expect for you to think that, you know, but truthfully speaking, throughout the years, and I've
It's not a lyric. Okay, go ahead. I'll let you keep going.
I've listened to both of their catalogs extensively. And to be quite honest with you, like, you had a problem when I said earlier, you know, one content may be more important than the other. But there's a thing, like you always hear me say in hip hop, and that's substance. And, you know, I just feel like, and I weigh substance right there at the top with authenticity and, you know, delivery and flow. And I just think that, you know, the weight of T.I.'s catalog, it just outweighs Busta's catalog. So, Busta might have a more extensive catalog, to be honest with you.
Right.
Like, throughout the Busta came out in 92 or whenever with the leaders of the new school and everything like that, flip mode years. and all of that good stuff. Busta may have a longer catalog than T.I. actually, but I just think T.I.'s albums, his body of work is a little more heavier than Busta.
So this is this is the reason why I said this yesterday again. You guys are looking at lyricism and content as opposed to what the Verzuz is about. It's a club battle back to back. And when you hear touch it, bring it, boom, 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 the idea is what jumps as singles more, not who had the best lyrics or who could talk about their moms or the drug game. Lyrics is actually gonna be second in this. What we're gonna see is the show. What you want to hear is which banger banged in the club hardest, which one you pressed when you wanted to ride out, which one got you hyped, which one was you with your lady, which one was this or with that. Like, that is gonna be the decider, not who's had the heaviest lyrics or the best content and this and that, because I can tell you that's why T.I. is up there and Bus isn't, because Bus's content is iffy, because he's just about spitting rhymes. But when you're just about partying and spitting rhymes, and the name of the game of the Verzuz battle is who had the best party music while rhyming fast. I added that, of course, but you understand, when that is the whole vibe of the winner, Bus has to win this, because that's what it's about.
I got one question for y'all out there. Y'all remember when T.I. used to wear his hats like this? Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
Listen, I'm just here to tell you, like, T.I. wins on all levels, man, across the board. If you talk, first of all, I disagree when you say that the Verzuz is about club bangers, because the Verzuz is not about club bangers. The Verzuz is about the audience and whomever is at home receiving the music that like your play selection. Like, I think, you get a certain amount of songs. I think, and I believe it's 20.
20
you get
songs.
A certain amount of songs that you select, and the DJ spins those songs. Now, you could pick 20 club bangers if you want to. That's on you.
Yeah, but
there's certain joints, and this is why somebody like T.I. changed the game, because there's certain joints that are so hot in the streets that the clubs and the radios have to play. And T.I. has a bunch of them. T.I. has had a bunch of those anthems that they were so fire in the streets. Those trap anthems, they were so fire in the streets. Like Money Rolls, you know what I'm saying? Like Dope Boys and the Trap niggas. The Dope Boys, and like, he has a bunch of those joints. And like I said, they intersect each other, whether it was the club, the streets, your mom's house, your homeboy's garage. Like, they was banging everywhere, out the ride, whatever. And like I said, I just think he just has a bunch more than, but like Bus, like you're right, Bus has a bunch of club bangers. Cool. Fab tried that, just having a bunch of joints for the ladies, or a bunch of joints that they play in the club. And because Jada Kiss has so many street bangers that we remembered or that we forgot about, he smoked Fab. He smoked Fab. And like I said, that's what it's about. Like, just like you said, having those electric joints that when soon as you play it, everybody's gonna tap in. Like, everybody's like, oh yeah, that's one right there.
Okay.
Like, and it's no doubt. Like, there's no question about it.
So let me respond to that.
Don't get me wrong. Bus has joints, but like I said, it wasn't about lyrics and what I was saying. Like, T.I. just has those joints. They just heavier.
I hear you.
They're heavier. I'm telling you.
That's
why, like I said, he didn't want to go back to Bus in '92 and '93. It wasn't if he not scared. Like I said.
Listen, man. Hold on. Okay, hold on. You're talking long enough. Let me respond to that. Before I ever say that T.I. doesn't have those, let me make it clear, T.I.'s got a bunch of those and invented an entire style of music on his own with his own name and his own album in 1 year. Invented it that we still listen to today. Given, I understand. The difference is diversity of sound. When Busta can pick 20 songs that go from a reggae beat to a samba style beat on the bass drums, or crazy hi-hats, or songs with no snare drums in it, where it's all of him rapping, to club bangers that have weird break your neck guitar, and then he's got Janet and Mariah Carey. When you hear all of T.I.'s trap music that he invented in one, it's not going to sound as diverse and as cool as it did when you heard it that first time, or this time after a year, or this time after 6 months. When you have this much diversity of music, I can play 21 bus joints, and none of them ever sound the same, with the same beat, the same drum, the same sound, or the same style. And it will showcase how much more alike sounding T.I.'s music is than we like to believe, because it's all trap. It's his music. Some of it might be love, you might, but it's just gonna be trap. Let's be honest.
I respectfully disagree there, because of the fact what makes T.I. T.I. is not only the fact that he made trap music. He articulates himself, as he has a show called Expeditious Heat. He articulated himself like no other, first of all. Second of all, with him articulating himself like no other.
Wait a minute. Yo, Jeff Champion, I see you, bro. What's good?
The music that he put out was not like any other. And when I say that, I mean, you're right. He can go love music. He can go East Coast. He can go West Coast sound, and T.I. is still like, if you put him, we've seen it, like if you put him on a Kanye beat with Kanye, Lil Weezy, Jay-Z, we've seen this with T.I. Rick Ross, Andre 3000, Jada Kiss. T.I. is gonna cook. T.I. is gonna cook, and I don't care what beat. See, that's the thing about it, T.I. I don't care what beat you put him on. He's gonna cook. If you went a cappella, and T.I. is one of the few people, that's what I'm saying, his lyrics are heavy. He's one of the, and Busta would go a cappella with you, because he's just that.
He's
Busta
just that
Rhymes.
nice.
He's a Busta Rhymes type of cat, right?
Yeah.
T.I. is one of the few people that can stand there and go a cappella. It doesn't matter the music. Now I could understand, would appreciate somebody sonically and the music being diverse one after the other for all 20 joints, whatever the case. What I'm saying is, like I said, it's just about that electricity, because you're not even going to rap your whole song. It's just about that one verse or whatever, and the beat is banging or whatever, and we touch back. And when I say we touch back, meaning that the music was classic. So it's not like it was hot 6 months ago, or it was hot that summer and it's not hot anymore. No. His trap joints that he coined the phrase on, those joints is classic, which is why there's a genre called trap music now. So the joints that he came out with, and he coined it trap music, those joints is classic. Like you can't outdo them.
Pastor Cavassier is classic.
Just like anything that's classic, it's still relevant. So, like I said, and I think he has more of those. He has more of those than Busta Rhymes. Period.
Yeah. I think that it'll show itself when people hear all that difference, all those classics that he had, and how they all sounded so different, and they were all so banging. I think it's going to start to show up a little
banging,
bit.
But it's like that was cool. That's what I'm saying. That was cool.
No, but that's not Busta. Busta Rhymes, when he does the joint,
that's cool.
Come
that's
on, man.
That's cool.
Touch it, bring it back. Come on, man.
That's cool.
What he does with Janet, man, now you disrespectful. Listen, people.
That's all I'm saying. That's cool.
Listen, people. Leave it right down there.
Like I'm saying, like that's cool.
Absolutely no. I will not accept that. Listen, I want to give big shout outs. BJ Holloman, M. Falme Dome, appreciate you, man. And he knows exactly what I'm talking about. Busta rap with rock and roll dude. Like, you don't know what's gonna come out when he pull out them jams.
Yeah, I can rap with anything and anybody. You know that. You know that.
Callum Mike, man, I was already going to shout you out. I wanted to give a few shout outs to people, too, who looked at the last joint that we had. Yeah, we still streaming. Good. So, let me see. Ikena Conquo, and MK Joseph. I wanted to give you a big shout out. Calamite, of course. Danny LaHarrison, big shout out to you. DC, shout out to you. So there you go. I did my shout outs. I want you guys down there to finish this, man. Is it Busta?
Tapping into the basement. We still here.
Is it T.I.? Go ahead.
Keep tapping into the basement. We still here. Yeah, T.I. I like I said, it's nah. Like I said, you know, and 20 joints. Just give T.I. 20 joints. Like, nah, every one of them gonna be smoking.
Every one of them, and after 5 of them, they gonna start sounding the same.
I don't think Bus
compared to Bus.
I don't like, and Bus got joints. I just, like I said, the way that they're gonna be received and embraced.
After 5 of them, they're gonna start sounding the same.
Like I said, I know what I think. I know what I feel. I know what I feel. I'm born in New York. I know what I feel.
I think
I'm
you
not
said.
saying
I think
Bus
you.
ain't nothing to be reckoned with. But I know what I feel.
I think you made your case well. I think I did as well. Now it's up to the people to decide. I want your decisions, and I don't want it after the verses, bro. If you're watching this and you don't type a comment until after you see the verses, that's not the case. We want to know now who got this one. That's what it's about.
But leave your comments though. You know, I don't think they booked a date yet on the T.I. Busta. But like I said, I would like to see it just because of that. You know, just because of the contrast. The contrast.
That was crazy when you said Weezy though. That kind of, even
one
though I'm not a big Weezy fan, just knowing what it would mean to the culture and how close, what that means for the battle itself, it's just perfect.
You could title that
it's just perfect.
True King of the South.
True King of the South.
Whoever comes out on top gets the King of the South.
It's just perfect. Like, it is perfect.
Yeah.
So guess what, people? We got the Geechee Gotti versus Charlie Clips on the Patreon right now. We got Daylight versus Tay Rock on our Patreon right now. We got Lux. I think they finally put that one out, or if they didn't, we got it, and we been had it. You're also gonna see bloopers. You're gonna see the full show that we had yesterday that we had to cut out for time. So join the Patreon, man. Become a part of the family. For real. Get a whole bunch of stuff that you just don't get. And if you're a rapper, we get beats and everything just by joining Patreon. So check us out, man. Support the channel. Support this live debate, man. Support what we do at the Basement Debates. And with that being said, I'm going to say peace. You say your peace, bro.
Peace. We out.